I was thinking of bringing in Japanese home building techniques. And for the interior side, maybe we could add something that reflects Kitakyushu, Rin said as she handed a cup of coffee to Akbab, who was reviewing the design in deep focus. I was thinking the same thing, Akbab smiled, taking the coffee. This should be exactly what Mr. Rain and Mrs. Mink are hoping for. Wow. Does that mean our hearts are finally in sync? Rin teased with a straight face, then bent to retrieve the pencil Akbab had dropped under her chair. When she looked back up, she noticed the older woman's face had turned a deep shade of red for no apparent reason. Akbab threw out an excuse. It's hot today, trying to cover up the fluster caused by the quick flash of Rin's chest when she bent down to pick something up earlier. We've known each other for a while now, spent a lot of time together, even traveled to Japan for many days. Grandma, don't you think we're pretty close at this point? I guess. You could say that, Akbab answered cautiously. So, can I cuddle you tonight? What? Akbab blushed even harder. She had no idea Rin's question was meant to confirm that her flushed face had nothing to do with the hot weather or anything of the sort. You're being ridiculous. Go work. Rin pretended to pout, though inside, she was grinning at how adorable the gorgeous woman was. Later, when it was actually time for bed, she asked again. She teased and kept on asking until Akbab grew annoyed. But even then, she never gave a firm no. And when Rin took the silence as permission, she just let the girl have it. You're warm, Rin said as she pulled away the body pillow that had been dividing them and hugged the older woman. Akbab lay frozen for a moment. Her heart pounded. The emotions inside her were tangled and unsettled. Part of her knew this was too soon to let the girl come this close to her. But her other part couldn't bring herself to push Rin away. Do you really like me that much? She asked, partly to break the silence in the room, partly out of genuine wonder at what Rin saw in her. Even if Rin insisted everything had happened because of destiny, they hadn't known each other for that long. There were still so many things Rin hadn't learned about her, including the issues she kept inside. In the end, would those burdens eventually push this girl away?
Yeah.
I do. What about you? Akbab took her time thinking about her feelings. She liked Rin. That much she could admit to herself, but she still couldn't bring herself to say the words. Just then, the phone on the nightstand lit up with an incoming call. Akbab took the chance to dodge giving Rin a clear answer and reached for her phone. Mind again. That woman never lets her live in peace, does she? Akbab had no intention of picking up, but before she could put her phone on Do Not Disturb, Mind called again. And again. She sighed and gave in, sitting up. I'll be back. Go ahead and sleep, she told Rin before stepping outside the house, not wanting the sound of her conversation to reach the ears of the person resting in the room. I think it's time you stopped calling me. Know your place, was the first thing she said to Mind. The sound in the background told Akbab right away that Mind was calling from Rain and Mink's private birthday party. You're not coming? Mind ignored the warning. Didn't you hear what I said? Stop calling me. Mind closed her eyes tightly, the pain inside her difficult to describe. Still, she clung to her intention.
Why?
We never officially broke up. I still want to talk to you. Akbab ended the call. She didn't want to hear any more from Mind. The words only stirred frustration in her heart, so much so that it showed clearly on her face. She stood there hugging herself in silence. Did something happen? Rin had come out looking for her after noticing she'd been gone a while. Not a big deal. Pat called about the company. Akbab's face and body language gave away that she was lying, but Rin didn't push. She just beamed at her. Oh, then now that you're done with your call, can we go back to cuddling? Akbab had finally managed to pull her feeling back to normal. She smiled in return and reached out to pinch Rin's cheek with a mix of teasing and fondness. Mind, let's go. He called out to her, who was still staring at her phone, lost in thought. Mind snapped out of her thoughts, nodded, and followed him into Mink's birthday party, which was filled with guests ranging from close friends and family to socialites and representatives from companies working with Rain and Mink. Happy birthday. I chose this gift just for you, Mrs. Mink. I hope you like it. Thee handed the gift box, wrapped neatly with ribbon, To the birthday girl, his tone full of obvious affection and overly attentive care. "Thank you very much, Mr. Lee." Mink smiled in return. "As for the house design, are there any specific changes you'd like to request? If so, please just let us dash. Oh wow, you really care about the clients, don't you, Mr. Lee?" Another man's voice cut in before they could finish his sentence. When he turned and saw who it was, his expression stiffened. He had to make an effort not to show irritation in front of an important client. "You're here too, Mr. Chan." Mr. Pat, they greeted through gritted teeth. "Why wouldn't we be? Mr. Rain and Mrs. Mink were kind enough to invite us," Pat replied with a flat tone. The three men locked eyes. Their glares were far from friendly, filled with nothing but anger and resentment. The reason was from around 10 years ago. Back then, Pat and Chan were close enough to launch a design firm together. But the harmony didn't last long. They had secretly started taking on clients behind their backs, making shady deals on the side. He also offered project budgets so low that delivering anything of quality was impossible. No, actually, even if they forced their way through with the cheapest materials in every aspect, it was still a struggle to get the work done. Pat and Chan felt deeply betrayed. In the end, the two brothers resigned from the very company they had helped build, leaving Lee to deal with the mess on his own. But the conflict didn't end there. After they left, they continued one of Chan's projects without asking for permission or even informing him. That sparked a massive fight, so intense that the company's front sign was left in pieces. Even after 10 years, none of them had let go of the bitterness from that day. "You two arrived a while ago, Mr. Pat, Mr. Chan?" Mind, noticing the tension in the air, quickly stepped in to steer the conversation with a polite question. "A little while ago," Pat answered just as politely. "Thank you for coming today." "Our pleasure, Mrs. Mink." Rain walked over to join his wife and greeted everyone with a smile. Then he turned to the brothers. "I'll be looking forward to your design. I'm sure it'll be great. You've put in so much time and effort." "Exactly. Miss Akbab and Miss Rin even stayed at the house to gather data. I can't wait to see what the design looks like." Mind froze. She had already suspected that Akbab had been organizing furniture and cleaning up at Rain's place, but she hadn't expected she'd actually been living there. And she'd even lived with that girl, Rin. "This house has so many hidden corners. We couldn't finish cleaning it all last time. I don't think even a professional cleaner could manage to cover everything. And the kitchen's quite small, with counters lower than usual. If Mrs. Mink cooks often, it might be uncomfortable to use." "It was probably built to match her grandmother's small frame," Rin remarked while jotting things down. In that case, I think we should redo the whole kitchen. Come stand next to the counter for a second. You're probably around the same height as Mrs. Mink." Akbab called Rin over to the kitchen counter. But Rin didn't just come over to help measure. She took the chance to wrap her arms around the other woman too, playing innocent. About this much higher should be just right. Akbab playfully rolled her eyes at the girl, but couldn't hide the blush creeping onto her cheeks. "You never stop messing around," she muttered. But before she could say more, a knock at the front door made her quickly peel Rin's arms off. Akbab went to check and was stunned to see who it was. Mind showed up with her luggage. "What are you doing here?" Akbab asked, in disbelief. "I'm here to stay, too." "We don't want you here," Rin snapped, stepping up to support Akbab with a tone and expression that made her hostility very clear. "If you two get to stay here for work, then so do I," Mind said coolly, completely unfazed by the tension in the air. Mr. Rain already gave his permission. With that, she walked right into the house, leaving the other two to exchange troubled glances. "There are a lot of damaged areas in this house. Water stains, too. We'll probably need to redo nearly the whole house." Mind strolled around, pointing things out for Rin and Akbab to see, as if there had never been a single issue between the three of them. "That's right. Which means the rest of the bedrooms probably aren't usable either, with the damage and water leaks." Rin tried to come up with excuses to push away the uninvited guest, but the other woman remained calm. "Then I'll share a room with Akbab. We used to sleep in the same bed all the time when we traveled." "Not anymore." The space next to her belongs to me now. Akbab listened as the two of them kept trying to top each other, unsure how to even describe how she felt. She quickly jumped in before Mind and Rin could go any further. Mind, if you finish surveying the place, maybe you should head back. No, I'll stay. I can sleep on the couch. The reply made Akbab exhale sharply. Akbab was filled with frustration and a sense of resignation.
Fine.
Do whatever you want. In that case, why don't you take me to see the backyard? You've been here for days now. I'm sure you know your way around. I'll take you. I'll show you every corner. Rin volunteered and headed out first, leaving Mind to glance after Akbab, who walked off to take care of something else, clearly fed up. Eventually, Mind followed the girl out to the back garden.